The Wii U, or in the words of BM30, everyone's favorite failure. Seriously, I can make an entire video on the revisionist history surrounding the Wii U alone. Mainly due to YouTubers like Scott the Woz and X-posters like Wii U discs. Y'all are fake! You weren't there, you weren't there, you were literally 2 when the Wii U came out. Anyway, enough gatekeeping. Nintendo hates the Wii U. I mean, who wouldn't in their position? The Wii U was Nintendo's incompetent son who had to repeat kindergarten, and it makes sense why they would move on to the inbred middle child. But what happens when a console's abandoned? CPS, I mean Homebrew, aka last gen hardware's will to live. Whenever a console gets left in the dust, a certain community steps in and starts having their fun. It's just a lot easier to hack something when you know the megacorp won't bother releasing updates to stop you. The fact this happens goes to show how persistent hackers are. There's a reason Sony stopped trying. One of the more notable platforms for homebrew as of late is the 3DS, but I and many others have made plenty of videos covering that scene. On the other hand, the Wii U typically doesn't get as much attention. Yeah, the Wii U modding scene is just overshadowed by the 3DS and Wii's, and that's criminal. I know I'm part of the problem. The last time I made a Wii U video was like over a year ago, but I'm working on it, okay? My previous video is hilariously out of date. We moved on to a whole different custom firmware. We went from mocha to tiramisu, and now finally aroma, an accurate description of the average Wii U aficionado's room. If you're still on tiramisu, no worries, just get the environment loader set up so you can dual boot into aroma. There are plenty of guides to do this. Check out wiiu.hacks.guide. But what are the benefits to installing an aroma into your Wii U, you may ask? Bowser wiggle. Seriously, if you've never modded any consoles, then the last minute of this video has been nothing but gibberish to you. Sorry. It's pretty common to see a console get a lot of homebrew support once its lifetime ends. And what homebrew is essentially what the community adds to said console after the tech conglomerates are done with it. Whether that be a custom firmware, a game mod, revival service, or maybe even custom games. Homebrew is always a very interesting topic to discuss, and the Wii U is no exception. So to put it into perspective, we'll be looking at some of the best additions the community has made for the Wii U, including quality of life mods, emulators, game mods, and custom ports. Like the Wii U App Store, Pretendo is yet another essential piece of homebrew. It revives like 2 game servers and Wii U chat. What else could you ask for? This was how I face revealed to my online friend. Our loader allows your Wii U to read games from different regions. Now, I think Mocha and Tiramisu both disable the region lock, but I'm not 100% sure, and not every custom firmware disables the Wii U's region lock, so it's worth mentioning. I have no idea why Nintendo bothered region locking the Wii U. It's almost like they expected to succeed. FTP-IIU is a simple FTP service for the Wii U. It makes it easier to transfer files from your PC to your Wii U without having to move the SD card a bunch. You just gotta be on the same network. In the same lane as FTP-IIU, you can use SaveIn or SaveIINE to directly transfer save files to your PC. Alternatively, you can use SaveMe to back up your data. Or Dumpling. Dumpling is a super comprehensive Wii U dumper that can do it all. It's a must-have if you want to use the CMU emulator. And while we're talking about file management, do yourself a favor and get Wii U Shell. Much like 3DS Shell, it's much like 3DS Shell. It looks the exact same and is just as useful. It's a solid little file manager and makes it a lot easier to correct file placement mistakes without having to reinsert your SD card into your computer a bunch of times. This 2 app and WUD allow you to dump your games into installable WUPs. Depending on what custom firmware you're on, one or the other might not work. But what good is a dumped WUP if you can't install it? WUP Installer does the unthinkable and allows you to install WUPs onto your Wii U's NAND and or USB storage. The installed app shows up on your home screen as if you bought the game from the eShop. Now, one of the best pieces of Wii U Homebrew is SD Caffeine. SD Caffeine makes it a lot easier to manage mod packs for your games. In the past, you had to load up SD Caffeine before every game, but now you can just boot up a game and the SD Caffeine menu shows up uninvited. Instead of having to replace files, you can organize all your mods so you can pick and choose between them. Even if you have SD Caffeine enabled, you can still access your vanilla games, so get it. The Homebrew App Store, get it. It's a lot like Universal Updater from the 3DS, but I find it a bit more complete in terms of UI and features. It lets you easily install a lot of the homebrew mentioned in this video without a computer. And something new to the Aroma firmware are plugins. They don't work on Tiramisu, don't bother trying, but they're very useful. Give Me YouTube is an Aroma plugin that tricks the YouTube app into thinking it's still employed. I've noticed it works closer to the TV YouTube client than anything. If you've seen my older 3DS videos, then you've likely heard of Wamiibo. The Wii U equivalent of this is RENFPII. It's a work in progress plugin that aims to emulate amiibos to unlock the stupid bonus content Nintendo traps behind overpriced Funko Pops. The Screenshot plugin lets you take screenshots. Oh my god. Coming from the 3DS, I'm a little surprised about how much isn't built into the Wii U's firmware. Needing a plugin to take screenshots on the Wii U when it was officially supported on the 3DS is kinda ridiculous, and puts into perspective how little Nintendo cared about the Wii U. They put all their eggs into one basket with Miiverse and their FaceTime knockoff. What were they thinking? Nintendo made the Wii a virtual console, and that doesn't make any sense. All Wii U models are backwards compatible with the Wii. Why would Nintendo waste their time with these releases? I get the Wii U upscales to 1080p, but that's just it. It upscales to 1080p. You're not really gonna play Mario Galaxy at full HD. It's just gonna be stretched out. So again, what was the point? Thankfully, modders made Virtual Console actually kinda useful on Wii U. With Ultimate Wii U Virtual Console Injector, you can install tons of games into the Wii U's Virtual Console format. Personally, I prefer having separate emulators for each console, but I can understand wanting to have each game show up on the home screen. While this is arguably more efficient, this just looks more official. If you've seen pretty much any of my videos, you know of SNES 9X. It's a great SNES emulator. I've had no problems with it, and it's on everything. I vastly prefer it over the RetroArch core. Speaking of RetroArch, it's on Wii U. Yay. Again, RetroArch is solid for most people, but from my experience, I just can't get it to work smoothly. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I just don't like it. And again, getting separate emulators for each console just feels better in my opinion, and is what I normally do, but on Wii U, besides SNES 9X, there aren't many options. No! DS is a work-in-progress DS and GBA emulator on Wii U, but you need to dump firmware files from your actual DS to use it. And I hear great things about DS Virtual Console injection, so I've just coped with that for now. But if you're going to inject Mario 64 DS into Virtual Console, you need to get the Circle Pad mod. In case you're unaware, despite Mario 64 DS supporting the Circle Pad on 3DS and Wii U, you still don't get the full 360-degree range of movement. You need this mod to get movement feeling right. I got it off the Homebrew App Store, but there is a GitHub page. This isn't an emulator and it's a Wii mod, but let me explain, damn it. Nintendo lets you run GameCube ROMs on Wii, but with the Nintendo Forwarder, you can run these games on the Wii U gamepad. Because the resolution lines up, it just works. You are missing out on the analog triggers, but there is a way around this with a button combo. Also, I couldn't find a forwarder for Aroma, and the original link got taken down, and Funky Scott had to re-upload it himself. Either way, more people should be talking about this mod, it's awesome. And that's kinda all I got on emulators. I'm not surprised, most people are content with RetroArch. I mean, it's arguably the most comprehensive emulator, and Virtual Console injects are undeniably just convenient. I've had more luck finding unofficial ports. Mario 64 has a source port because of course it does. Same story with Doom. As expected, both run really well, and I've put a decent amount of time into Crispy Doom in particular. It looks very clear and runs smooth. The Doom port on 3DS doesn't look bad, but due to the lower resolution screen, a lot of the sprites lose their definition, which is not a problem here on the gamepad. Sonic's also seen a lot of action on Wii U. Sonic 1, 2, Mania, and CD are fully playable here. Easy RPG is an open source engine based on RPG Maker 2000. Thanks to its multiple years in development, many bugs have been ironed out and people still speak highly about it. Love 2D, the engine behind Balatro, has been ported to the Wii U. It's an open source, framework you can use to code projects in Lua, the same language Roblox and Gmod use. Whatever you do, don't install the Tetris port off the Homebrew App Store. It crashed my gamepad, bro. Tetris proved too much for the Wii U. I'm not surprised. This thing could barely play Black Ops. While we're talking about these older games, I may as well mention a lot of these arcade type of games are available for download off the Homebrew App Store, among the likes of Pac-Man and Tetris. You can also find these games on Wii U Bro. Ship of Harkinian is a full-on port of Ocarina of Time. I'm really surprised I missed this port the first time around. It's not just a straight port either. It lets you play in widescreen and it runs at a higher resolution and steadier frame rate. The PC version has a built-in randomizer, but I'm not sure how to access this on Wii U. Oh my gosh, Space Cadet Pinball is here too. Well, as for game mods, there is a CCGP mod for Mario Kart 8, but there also isn't. It's been abandoned, and honestly, the courses aren't amazing. It's worth trying out. Yeah, Mario Kart Generations really picks up the slack. It's a massive mod that works with Pretendo Online and everything. 48 custom tracks, and most of them are bangers. As expected from Smash Bros, there are a ton of character mods on Wii U. I personally recommend the Angry Kirby mod so you can finally take this game seriously. Pikmin 3 has a pretty meaty expansion mod that adds new missions, music, and collectibles. It's always impressive when mod developers do this. I mean, they're adding new content that's on par with official levels. Another mod like this is Super Mario Early Escapade. It adds a new world of levels, and it's like free DLC. I mean, come on, how could you go wrong with this? This shit's awesome. The best game mods are like this. It's like free DLC. I've talked about this before, but I gotta talk about it again. Cloudy New Super Mario Bros. 2 is a complete revamp of New Super Mario Bros. U. 40 new levels. What? How does someone even do this? This isn't a mod at this point. It's a whole new game. I put a decent amount of time into it, and it's very much worth downloading. Like I said, it's basically a whole new Super Mario Bros. Game. But yeah, that's all I've got for today. Thank you to all these mod developers. Messing with the Wii U is infinitely more fun because of y'all, and I seriously admire your work. Not like that means much coming from me, but you know, I wouldn't be making these videos if this stuff didn't exist. I'm sure I missed something, so please let me know in the comments, and I hope you fellow Americans have a great Thanksgiving. But if you enjoyed this video and that subscribe button is white, you're doing it wrong. Click it to make it gray, and have a nice day.